On commencing her novel, Emma, Jane Austen announced she was going to write an unlikable heroine. She was very fond of Emma, but did not reckon on her being a general favourite. For when commencing that work, she said, "I'm going to take a heroine who no one but myself would much like." That's from James Edward Austen Lee, Jane Austen's nephew, in his memoir of Jane Austen in 1870. I just don't think it has the right pizzazz because I don't have the right accent. Like if I had a British accent, that would sound better.
Oh, okay. Do you want... I'm not going to do it. You've just got to put on a British accent.
Do I have to try to give it?
No, please don't.
On commencing. No, you're right. It just won't work. All right, well, let's just start. I'll start with that then. Hello, and welcome to Into the Austenverse. I'm David Campbell.
And I'm Lisa Campbell.
And I am not British, as you can tell by that cold opening there that my wife made me... Well, because you've done the last two with Pride and Prejudice.
Yes.
And I thought that was very, was cool, elevated the podcast to a certain extent.
And you think this has degraded it?
I don't think it's degraded, but I think it has a different... it sets a different tone. Hopefully it was okay. But this is a podcast about celebrating all things Jane Austen in her 250th anniversary year of her birth, and all of the books, the adaptations, everything we like about them, and all the things that just are popping around at the moment about Jane Austen in the world, right?
Indeed. So we are into the Austenverse. And if you would like to like and subscribe, please do. And if you want to follow us on the socials, we have got some very exciting stuff happening. So on Instagram, we are into the numerical 2, into the Austenverse. Same on TikTok, into the Austenverse.
That's for the kids. The kids love that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So, yes, into the Austenverse. And yes, we look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, please follow us on all social media today. So what we are doing now, though, is that we've moved on. We've done Pride and Prejudice now. That was a 2-parter to start things off with, which was a lot of fun. But we are now diving into the world of Emma. We are definitely heading to Highbury. And for some reason, and I'm going to just preface this whole podcast with just an apology, but for some reason, I have been given... I guess the honor, I'm going to say the honor, of leading the podcast on Emma. And the whole point of the podcast was that I'm new to the whole Jane Austen thing. You sort of lived and breathed it if people are just picking up this episode and trying to guess what's going on, because you're English and you're from Britain, and I've never really read any of them before. So to give me the responsibility of a major book and it just feels like a lot.
You are really pushing the English thing today. This is very telling.
Well, yeah, I'm not. It's not foreshadowing anything.
Right.
I'm just saying that, I just want to make sure that I think people have worked out with the accents that we're.
Okay. I think you need to have more pride in this. The reason that you are leading the Emma situation is because you love this book.
Yeah.
You read this. I've read this 100 years ago, and you read it recently for the first time. You love this book.
She is absolutely in her powers. Jane is in her powers on this book, and it is such an incredible piece of writing. It was so engaging and so different to the other things that I'd read prior to this.
I think we're hoping to get a very special guest to really delve into Austen's style and the free and direct speech, and look at why she was so groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Because as we have really tried to push, and we will continue to push again, we are not scholars.
Not scholars.
But we've found some. And
we've searched up the word scholar online. And guess what? They're out there. So what age were you when you first read this? I was 52.
I would have been 16.
That's a great age to read this book.
Mm.
Where would it stand then on your level of where your favies are? Your favourites of Austen? Would this be higher?
Well, I think there's no. Now it is. Okay. Absolutely, now it is. However, I think that I was slightly repelled by Emma as a character, because I think that there's a real sense that, particularly when you're younger and you are the hero of your own story, you see yourself, you paint yourself in that character.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be Lizzie Bennet, and I wanted to be Marianne Dashwood.
That's how she gets you. That's how Jane gets you.
And I don't want to be Fanny so much, but I want to be Mary Crawford. But that's a different thing for Mansfield Park. But for Emma, and going back to your initial quote, it is hard to love her. Yeah. I mean, she has some very good qualities, but there are some things that she does which are really, really uncomfortable. Yeah,
it's really tricky. All right, let's get into just the background of this a little bit. Obviously, published in 1815, as it says here, by the author of Pride and Prejudice. I mean, boy, those days, thank God they're done. Dedicated to the Prince Regent, who is a massive fan of the book. Can you explain who the Prince Regent is, and was he really a prince?
Yes, he really was a prince.
Okay.
It's not like his name like Prince.
Like Prince Nelson just became Prince and just released albums. I don't remember his version of Purple Rain, but I'm sure it's really good.
Yeah. The Prince Regent is George IV. Right. So he is the son of George III.
Right.
The madness of King George.
Right.
And because he was incapacitated, his son, George IV, took over his kingly duties,
right?
And though he was still alive, so he became the Prince Regent.
Right.
So he was hence the Regency period.
Oh, Regent wasn't his name.
No,
not like Prince Charles.
No,
and there's my other son, Prince Regent. Why'd you name him that? We ran out of words.
So he heralds this new time period, and he was considered to be a bon vivant. And
he was a party boy, right?
He was.
Yeah, he was loosey-goosey.
Absolutely. And he enjoyed all of the greatest things in life.
We could call it Bacchanalian if we want to be very booky.
We could be.
All right.
And he was very ostentatious, and he was polarizing.
Right.
Jane wasn't necessarily a huge proponent of his style.
She wasn't a fan?
It was a mixed blessing for him to be such a fan of her work. Yes, it gave her publicity and it was a stamp of approval. However, she wasn't particularly fond of all of his practices.
Sometimes you have to lay down with a dog and come up with fleas. That's business. That's capitalism, baby. Good on you, Jane. All right. The thing I love about Emma in the book is the fact that she doesn't endear herself to the reader very well because she's such in everybody's business. And you're thinking to yourself, it's almost like she's a teenager. You know, it's almost like you're like, she's making all these mistakes. The prefrontal lobe's gone for whatever reason. And she's not, and like, you just want to, as a parent and as a reader, step in and go, oh, please stop. And that's where Knightley comes in. And I need to discuss Knightley because when I was reading this book, I'm like, this is the guy. Knightley is hands down my favorite Austen guy in the whole Austenverse. How do you feel about Knightley?
I love him.
Yeah.
I love him. He's wonderful.
He's an absolute legend. And he tells her the truths.
Yeah.
Comes in, hitting home truths with Emma. And that's where we know as a reader, like, these two are going to get together. But the fact they don't both know the attraction in the story and as it goes along, I think is really, really fascinating.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And it's really interesting how he has such a insightful way of looking at every aspect of people.
Yeah.
Very, very clearly and in a very kind way. But yet he doesn't seem to acknowledge his love for Emma, which is interesting. Why do you think that is?
I think he doesn't realize it.
Why?
I don't know. I think it's because she's much younger than he is. So I think in the book, he's about 36, 37.
Yeah, 16 years age gap, I think.
Yeah, and he like held her in his arms when he was like 13 years old or something, you know, and said he always loved her. All sorts of things that, yes, haven't aged well now, but at the time was fine. But I think that, you know, so there's all of that. So I think he's very protective of her in a certain way. So there's an older brotherly thing going on. But as she matures and becomes like 21 years old in the book, it's all good again. I don't think understands that there's been a shift. And that shift is verbalized at the ball when they said, we're not going to dance like brother and sister. He says, no, we're not going to dance as brother and sister. But it's still not actualized until they both think they're going to lose each other to other people. And I think that's what's really great about Austen's writing. So establishing that, I think, is really important as we go to the adaptations, because I think that's where the adaptations either fly or flatline for me.
On the Knightley?
on the Emma and how much we sit on her side and are still anxious about her choices, and on how the Knightley is. And I think that's where this is going to fly or fall as far as adaptations go.
Okay, so you are going to judge the adaptations.
Absolutely, that's what we're here for.
Oh, no. But you're going to categorize. You're going to put them on a leaderboard.
Well, I felt like for this one episode that maybe we would have an awards, which is the Knightley Awards, like the best Knightley of all time, you know.
Spectacular.
The Knightleys. So hold on. Welcome to the Knightleys, everybody, where we'll be discussing all things Emma and all the interpretations of it. And who's going to win the Knightley and who's going to win the Gold Knightley tonight. It's going to be really special. But so let's go back to... All right, we're going to jump around a little bit. Okay. I want to start with the 2009 one with the series. Okay, this is the BBC adaptation. It is on BritBox if people want to watch that. It looks beautiful. It looks lush. For me, I felt that this was the most in-depth we're going to see of Emma because you've got the space. It's like what we love about 95 Pride. You've got the space to explore all the characters, and I think that's really, really important. But I just couldn't love this adaptation, and I found it difficult. Now, that being said and done, it sets up the world, I think, really well. There's a great sort of intro narrative which talks about, especially Mr. Woodhouse's world, who is Emma's father, and the loss of the mother into having to look after both daughters, having a fear of the world, which he already had a little bit before the mother dies, then Emma's sister growing up and getting married, and then
Miss Taylor.
Yeah, Miss Taylor, then also who is the governess, leaving as well. So all he is left with is Emma. That sets up for an actor like Michael Gambon something that you don't see in the other versions.
Would you like a fact?
I'd love a fact.
Here's a fact.
Go on.
Michael Gambon is the greatest actor of his generation.
Oh, I didn't. That's not in my sheets. He is, though. You love Gambon.
I love him. I think I stand by that. Come at me. He's the greatest actor of his generation. For those of you who don't know Michael Gambon, he took over from Richard Harris in the Harry Potters. He played Winston Churchill. His best work the work that I love the most is his Polyakov stuff, like Shooting the Past and Perfect Strangers. Remember those?
No, you're just saying words at me now.
Oh my gosh.
Perfect Strangers with Balky.
No,
not Perfect Strangers with Balky.
Perfect Strangers was a TV show that we watched. It's an old BBC TV show. It was him and Matthew McFadden.
Oh.
Do you remember this?
No.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, we're going to have to rewatch that. Into the Austenverse.
Yeah, that's like a couple of years down the track. We'll get into it.
And Shooting the Past. Remember Shooting the Past? And they had Timothy Spall, and he ran a photo library.
We've got 3 kids.
Okay.
Some of the stuff just has to be parked.
Anyway, somebody out there will know what I'm talking about and will agree that Michael Gambon is just absolutely sublime.
Absolutely. And I think he's wonderful in this, and he's really allowed the room to sort of talk about the sort of what might be a mental illness for him. Like, he's obviously very hypochondriac.
But also trauma.
There's a lot of trauma that he's living with, a lot of fear of the outside world. And I think it's really important because it sets up the fact that Emma is really isolated. And that, I think, is what is so wonderful about the characters, that she'd set up someone who we all know them. We know people like Emma who have never traveled, have never done anything, but think they know everything about the world and the people around them. I think that's what's so great about the writing and so great about this interpretation, that it shows us that she has not been anywhere, but she's going to matchmake as much as she can. And she has a couple of quick hits. As I think Knightley says, you got lucky.
Yes.
And I think he's right. But still, she got the hits and she got the matchmaking done. But setting up the fact that she's isolated and doesn't know much about the world is super important to Emma. And I think that we forget that in other adaptations, is that she's only been in this town. Romola Garai plays Emma in this, and she's really charming. I think she's really, really excellent. She's a terrific actor. She's won BAFTAs. She gives a really youthful interpretation. It's really well-rounded. She was their first choice.
Good for her.
Good for her. My only problem is, with this one, I feel that, and maybe this is an interpretation, maybe it's a directorial thing, but I feel like it wants too much to be liked as Emma. And part of me feels like I like Emma to be a little bit
Yeah, for us
brittle.
Yes, and for us to be a little more conflicted.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I think that there's some choices that they make in this version which I don't quite understand.
Go on.
You said that you like that introduction bit.
Well, I think it's good for the viewer and the audience.
Yes, but I feel as though it really sets up Frank Churchill and Jane Fairfax as being far too instrumental to the story than they are.
100%.
Particularly Jane Fairfax. I understand why we saw Frank at the beginning. But Jane, come on, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot. I just feel as though there's one of the main things that I find really tricky about the casting of this is that Romola Garai, the woman who plays Harriet Smith, and the woman who plays Mrs. Elton all look the same to me.
Yeah.
I have blonde blindness.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know. This is so brave that you're opening up about this now in a podcast.
They are all very beautiful, blonde, curly-haired, blue-eyed women.
Exactly.
And when there's a moment where you go into the chapel and when we're watching Mr. Elton, we see Mrs. Elton for the first time, I'm like, what is going on? Everyone looks the same. And so I feel as though there's just, I want more
characters.
Yes, I want sort of more grit. I want something more of it. I also feel as though with Romola, she is wonderful. She's wonderful. She's absolutely lovely. But she seems much more casual than a lot of the Emmas that we have, which I don't know what that choice was. But it doesn't really, for me, set up the sort of class difference and the pride that Emma has in her higher status above Harriet, above Miss Bates. That's really important to Emma. Yeah. And it's constantly referenced in the novel. And I feel as though her casual aspect and her hair's all a bit skew-iff and she always seems so sort of ready and sort of she seems so casual, and I think that detracts from the other Emmas that we see who seem a little more put together, but also within good reason.
But they have high stakes in other adaptations.
And high status.
I think that's really important to have, and that's what's missing from this. We've got Johnny Lee Miller as Knightley. Not my favorite Knightley. It's good. I think he does a good job. I just don't feel like he has, whether it's direction or whatever, the time to shine as Knightley in this production. I think that Tamsin Greig is a lovely Miss Bates, but I really feel like we're going to talk about other Miss Bates coming up soon. I feel like we're all paling in a comparison of somebody later on. I want to give two shout outs. Rupert Evans is fantastic as Frank Churchill.
Yeah, you love him.
He, with Gambon, are the two standouts for me in this. He acts like a leading man, which makes us lean into Frank Churchill more. And then when the turnaround happens, we're like, oh, this guy wasn't great at all. But yet he still charms him at the end, is still part of it because you realize he was hiding this big secret. It's a great performance, really nuanced, and I really, really loved it. The other thing was Jefferson Hall, who is Mr. Martin. This guy is so goddamn handsome. This guy's so goddamn handsome that I don't know why. I mean, Emma would just be like, oh yeah, he's fantastic. You should definitely jump on that one, Harriet. He is all man and he is going to like the farm. He is like, how many hands is he? Let's find out. You know, he's ridiculously handsome for this character. And it's great, but it kind of just doesn't make sense that anyone would be like, no, don't marry him. He is a tall drink of cold milk on a hot Austen day. At the end of it all, though, Gambon wins for me in this interpretation. The very, very last scene before the end, his fragility, how he wraps all of those moments up is perfect. I even welled up at that. I thought he was magnificent. So yes, greatest actor of his generation. All right, let's get goopy.
Okay.
Are you ready? There's a lot on this. What I didn't realize at the time is that in 1996, there's this version, there's the Kate Beckinsale version, and there's Clueless. 3 Emma adaptations at the same time are being made. You
know that we're going to call it Goop because of Gwyneth. Now, you've done some surprises on me before.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to surprise me? Hang on. Oh, what's she reaching for? And here she is, ladies and gentlemen, Gwyneth Paltrow. Oh, my Lord. The biography. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Oh, and you've marked the pages too.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you well. When you've done that, it's serious. That's windows to a marriage there, folks.
Look, so the original was going to be a modern adaptation.
Right.
So they were going to do an Upper West Side version of Emma.
Like Ethan Hawke's Hamlet at the time.
Or The Great Expectations.
Great Expectations.
But of course, then they found out that Amy Heckerling was doing Clueless.
Yep.
And so decided to go the whole hog. And
the whole British hog.
Indeed. Look, there isn't a huge amount in this.
I'm shocked.
About Emma, but I do have some things. So you talk and I will pepper this in as needs be.
Oh, this is thrilling. The suspense is killing me. Okay. Douglas McGrath, who is the writer-director on this, he was an SNL writer. He was nominated for an Academy Award for Bullets Over Broadway, Don't Speak. And then he got the green light because of that to do Emma. He's also won a Tony for Beautiful, the Carole King story. So he was really well-loved. He was a very well-loved writer and director. He worked with a lot of people. They loved working with him. He loved Goop. He said the minute he met her, he wanted her to do it. He said at the first reading, he says, everything is going to be fine. Because even though she had a strong Texan accent, she had a great British accent for Americans.
Okay, that's not quite the thing, but yeah.
Go on, what do you mean?
So the casting director
this is great.
Loved her from Flesh and Bone. And that's where she does the Texan accent. And because she'd done that so well, they thought she'll be able to do a good British accent.
Wow.
Yeah. And I will say, I think that her British accent, and I'm very judgy on this, I think it's very good.
Up there with Renee Zellweger, is it up there? Because I think that's gold standard British accent done by an American.
It's close.
Close?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I think it is very good.
All right. She was loved by the critics as well. I can see in this adaptation at that time in the world, she's dated Brad Pitt, she's, about to date Ben. This is a big time for her. And we are rolling into the Goop world.
So this is the thing that was going to make her a star.
Absolutely.
And apparently, so this is also, we're talking about Doug McGrath here, but we've also got to think about the other person who was involved in this.
Let's just say Miramax, and people will know what we're talking about.
Okay.
I've thought about this. We won't say his name. We'll just say Miramax Company.
Okay. So the Miramax Company were keen to create a star of David Schwimmer.
I mean...
They believed that he was to be the next Tom Hanks. Obviously, he'd done 2 seasons of Friends and was obviously huge there, but they wanted to make him a movie star.
Right.
And so they had this script, The Pallbearer. Do you remember that?
Yeah, The Pallbearer.
There we are. And the idea was that Gwyneth would be given the role of Emma if she also did The Pallbearer.
Sounds very Miramaxy to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's what they did.
Crazy times.
And so she did that. And this is the whole time she was dating Brad. Brad was on set during Emma.
Gosh.
He was a lot more popular than her.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They loved him.
The cast?
Everybody.
Everybody loves Brad. That's our next podcast.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, I know that there's some problems. Pitt was a welcome presence on the set of Emma. He was kind to the crew. He remembered everyone's names and the drivers' names. He played with everyone's kids and was refreshingly unpretentious. I think that's in contrast to other people.
Yeah. Oh, she's keeping more information from me. This is amazing. All right, let's get on to the Knightley. And this is we are talking gold standard Knightleys already. Jeremy Northam. He was initially considered for another role. It was the director who said, no, I think you should be Knightley. And honestly, this is just, what a decision in this movie. He's unbelievable in this. This is a performance of the ages that he gives. He is incredible in all of it. He's great with Gwyneth. They actually do have good chemistry. I don't personally think Gwyneth is, a couple of decades down the track as charismatic as her star power is in the interpretation of Emma, but he makes her bounce and makes her fly a lot more. And I think that's masterful. And he's incredible, including in something that I think is going to be definitive to all Knightleys, which is the badly done scene, Emma, which he takes down to almost a whisper. And it's wonderful stuff.
And his ability with language is second to none. Yeah. Oh, he's so good.
All right.
So good.
Ewan McGregor. Now, when we watched the movie and Ewan comes in, I'm like, has he just come off that Velvet Goldmine movie? What is that hair? What's going on? Here's what Ewan McGregor said, because I didn't love him as Frank Churchill in the role. I was like, I always love Ewan. What's going on? This is Ewan's quote. My decision-making on this movie was wrong. It's the only time I've ever done that, and I learnt from it. So, I'm glad of that because it was early on and I learnt my lesson. It's a good film, Emma, but I'm just not very good in it. I'm not helped because I'm also wearing the world's worst wig. It's quite a laugh checking that wig out.
He's right.
He's right.
I love that he's so, oh my gosh.
That is so endearing and so wonderful that he does that.
Oh, and he's completely right. He looks like, you know how the Hamburglar has that hat? It's that and it's awful.
He wanted something that's going to set him apart from Trainspotting, which of course had just blown up. So he wanted to act like, he wanted something that's going to make him seem like a broader actor than not just be this one person. And look, it probably did help in the long run with his career, but yeah, the fact that he talks about it like that is amazing.
Oh, and yeah, I'm glad he does because he isn't good in it and he is completely miscast.
All right, Toni Collette. We love Toni Collette, our very own Australian queen. She's a gorgeous Harriet. She really is. She gained weight for the role, which I did not know, because Harriet is described as Rubenesque. So, Toni's very serious about her acting. She's so alive in this, to the fact that when we were watching it, there were times I'm like, she is acting Goop off the screen in some of these little moments where she's looking around and, chasing, bugs and talking at the same time. Toni is just, I've met her a few times. She is who she is on the tin. She's that authentic and that excitable about life and that good an actor and that intelligent. She's wonderful in this.
Tonally, there's a real disparity between what she's doing and what Gwyneth's doing.
Oh, yeah.
And that for me is a really tricky thing in a lot of it.
I think that's just everybody working with Gwyneth, who I don't know outside of a star power is always good in it.
Yeah, I feel as though because Alan Cumming, I think, is really good as Mr. Elton too.
I got notes on him coming up. He's wonderful.
And I just feel as though, and I don't necessarily even think it's that Gwyneth is bad. She's not bad. It's like she's just in a different film because the others are slightly larger in their portrayals, which of course is going to be the case anyway, because a lot of the supporting characters are so big. But there's just something about it that just doesn't quite ring true. And also I feel as though, I love Toni Collette in it, but she also looks like she's been done up a bit and they've tried to make her look a little younger. And so it just doesn't quite ring true for me. But she's absolutely charming.
She's fabulous.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, Alan Cumming as Mr. E. He hated his hair. He did not like his hair in the movie. He said there was curly and all that's blonder, and he did not like that at all. But he loves Doug. People love Doug. R.I.P. Doug McGrath. He was very much beloved in the whole thing. The drunk carriage scene, which is another one of those scenes that I think tells you if it's a good adaptation or not.
Yeah.
He is so menacing. Like he turns.
Yes.
And it's something that very few actors, Alan does it really well, where he's ultimately, as Mr. Elton usually is, quite like not buffoonery, but like a little bit sort of out of his depth and sort of socially awkward. But then the carriage scene happens and that's the turning point for him. But Alan takes it to a different level. And I think it makes the movie a little bit richer because of it.
I agree. It also changes our perception of Mr. Elton because in some of the others, we see him he's rejected and so he's slighted and so you feel almost a bit sorry for him, or you can do in some of them. And with what Alan does, you suddenly turn and think, oh, this guy has the ability for cruelty.
Yes.
Which you see again with the situation with Harriet later. And yeah, his contempt is there. I love the fact that we see that because we're used to seeing the oily clergy in Mr. Collins.
We do. We love it.
But Mr. Elton's social climbing and his desire for what he wants seems at odds with being a clergyman, and I really enjoy the way that Alan Cumming plays this.
And I think we all see the fact that he's not interested in Harriet at all. He's not interested in her picture. He's interested in Emma. And because she is so unworldly and so clueless, it's seen as this constant rejection to the point he's like, don't you see this? And she's like, absolutely not. He's so angry because he doesn't understand that she's not worldly. So there's so many different layers to what's happening here, which I think is really interesting. Okay, Polly Walker she's fine as Jane. She's okay. I think we haven't had a good Jane. I'm gonna discuss that a little bit later on, but I think that's really important to our adaptations. And for me, I haven't found it. Dennis Hawthorne as Mr. Woodhouse, he's fine. However,
Greta?
Oh, Greta Scacchi?
Yeah.
Oh, my heart. She's just another Aussie. We just love her so much. She's fabulous. But no, I want to get to Sophie Thompson. And here we have the first Knightley going out. The first Knightley award goes to Sophie because she is the ultimate Ms. Bates. With all due respect to the other Ms. Bates out there, she's perfect. Because when you read Ms. Bates in the book, it is that rat-a-tat-tat. There's hyphens and all these things going on. She knows so much about the town. She's a busybody, but she's loved by everybody at the same time. She has this sense of sadness because she is lonely. You know her status, where she stands. She has such an understanding of that in her characterization that when we get to the scene where Emma says, well, perhaps you could just talk a little bit less, which I do think Gwyneth delivers like an arrow.
Oh, all of the Box Hill scene is perfection. I could cry thinking about Sophie Thompson in that scene. I'm going to cry. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
I am. No. But it's so, the way that she starts to talk really quietly and she's still smiling. Oh my gosh. It's just so
British
heartbreaking.
Thing. It's a very British thing.
And it's.
But her apology with it too. No, sorry. Yes. No, and it's all of those things and just the horror that creeps over the picnic as everyone realizes what's happened is incredible. I did not know, and I cannot believe you didn't say this to me when we were watching it, that Phillida Law, who's Mrs. Bates, is her mother.
Yeah.
Why? I was doing the research and I was like, why didn't Lisa tell me this? So 3 Thompsons have all done Austens. The 3 Thompson women have all done Austens.
Yes.
That's unreal to me.
It's beautiful.
And deserves a gold star just for that. Just a little mini award for them for that. All right, quick test for you at the end of this. It was nominated for 2 Oscars. It won 1 Oscar. Who was it?
So the music or costumes? I'll say music.
Music did win. It was best score. Rachel Portman. She did many scores after that. She's British. She made history by being the first female to win that category.
Wow.
Right? She then did Cider House Rules. She did Chocolat, and she's still going. She's great. It was, you're right, also nominated for best costumes. That's Ruth Myers, also a Brit. But that is Goop's Emma, right?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. At the same time as the Goop and Clueless, there's the 1996 version of Emma. This is with Kate Beckinsale.
It was on TV, yes.
Yeah, and Mark Strong is Mr. Knightley. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to find a good version. It's a very bad version on YouTube, very badly graded, and so it's hard to watch. It's okay.
Yes. The term wiggy springs to mind. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean just somebody wearing a wig. I mean, it looks wiggy.
Yeah.
I was really surprised that Sue Birtwistle and Andrew Davis were behind this.
There you go.
This must have been their follow-up to Pride and Prejudice. And it does not feel the same.
Nah, it doesn't hit as well.
So, yeah, it's a swing and a miss for me with this one. I mean, I think there are good things about it. And I think Kate Beckinsale's very beautiful. And Mark Strong's obviously a great actor, but it just...
Mark Strong, better bald.
Better bald.
Better bald. he's got to be bald for me.
Yeah.
Whether he's a good guy or bad guy, I need him bald.
Yeah.
I need to see that dome coming in, that British tone. He can do whatever he wants. But that wig, no. Let's get into 2020.
Okay, so this is Emma full stop.
Wrong. Now, you and I have been joking about this since we watched it. Why is it Emma.com? Why is it Emma full stop? It's not. It's Emma, period. It's a period piece. It's a choice made by the director. You don't like that as much? I think that's fun.
Yeah, but I don't say... Oh, no. Emma, period.
Emma, period.
No.
Really?
No.
All right. Well, look, the director, Autumn de Wilde, she's incredible. She is a rock photographer. She's the daughter of another rock photographer, and she's a documentarian too. So she's photographed Elliott Smith. She has a book about photographs of Elliott Smith, who I love. But she basically, anyone that was cool and in the music industry, she either shot them, did their videos, or did a documentary on them. So like Jenny Lewis, Death Cab for Cutie, all of those great bands at that time. So she is a true visionary. And I think you can see that in what she wanted to do with this movie, because it is sumptuous. She has elevated it to almost a cartoony level, but it kind of works in a big way.
Yeah, I feel as though tonally, it reminds me of the sort of fictitious England that exists in Paddington films.
Yeah, right.
The Paddington films. If you have not watched the Paddington films, Paddington 2 is, here's another fact for you, the greatest ensemble film of the 21st century. But it's that sort of that, there's something slightly absurdist about it, but also beautiful. Mm-hmm. And it's so colourful and it's so elevated. I want to live in that world.
Yeah. Okay. This cast is full of what I would say is the next level of Hollywood. So the superstars of tomorrow and today are in this. It is such a stacked cast. You've got Anya Taylor-Joy as Emma, Johnny Flynn as Knightley. Obviously, you've got Bill Nye holding down Mr. Woodhouse, Josh O'Connor, who's one of my favorites at the moment, as Mr. Elton, Miranda Hart is Ms. Bates, Mr. Dua Lipa himself, Callum Turner, is in it as Frank Churchill, Mia Goth, who's just been over in Venice with the Frankenstein film, and she's like a horror superstar, is in it as well. So this is a super stacked cast, and it works. They're all terrific. It's kind of excited. They're all excited to be on this set.
Yes. Are you going to talk about the Rat Boy world?
Do you want to discuss Rat Boys now?
I do want to discuss Rat Boys.
Okay, well, tell me what you know about the Rat Boy phenomenon of the last couple of years.
I understand Rat Boys to be handsome chaps who have a specifically slightly ratty look. Mm-hmm. So Jeremy Allen White, mm-hmm. Josh O'Connor,
Barry Keoghan.
Yeah. Does Callum Turner fit into Rat Boy?
Absolutely, Callum Turner's a Rat Boy.
They're all very handsome chaps. I think it's a little derogatory, isn't it? Or do they lean into Rat Boy? Rat Pack, Rat Boy.
I think it's just a catchphrase that we can group people into, because I think they have an element of attractive danger to them. I think that's what makes them really interesting. Is that they're not just like mousy people. Rats are like cunning. They're always you're always watching them because they could come at you at any second, or they can do something else. So I think that's what I like about it. So if I'm going to get them to own the Rat Boy, I think that's good.
Okay, fair enough. But this is a double ratter.
Yeah, it's two rats, no waiting. I think Anya Taylor-Joy starts off a certain way. There's a lot of comedy in this one. They lean into the comedic charm of the book. I think she might be my favorite Emma, all of them. I think she's really funny. And in the last half of the film, post Box Hill and the badly done Emma, she absolutely turns it around and gives a wonderful performance as well. So I think she encapsulates, even though it's heightened, I think she encapsulates the spirit of Emma as a whole. Thoughts?
I tend to agree. I know we spoke to some friends this week who found her cold, but I think she's excellent. She also looks Emma-y to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll back you up on that one.
All right, Johnny Flynn. Johnny Flynn, his gold Knightley too. This is a really incredible performance. Now, we loved him in Ripley. He was great in that, and he is just really, really beautiful in this film.
What's weird about this is that when I first saw him, and this is, if we have British listeners, this is more likely to be for them than it is for Australians, but you may know, he looks so much like this other actor called Jerome Flynn, and they're half-brothers.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Do you know Jerome Flynn is?
Is he from Game of Thrones?
He is from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But he was from a TV show called Soldier, which was massive. And he went on to be like, he had his own like pop duet with another guy from Soldier, Robson Jerome. And
fantastic.
They had like Christmas #1s. They were so big.
I remember when we watched Game of Thrones and he came on and you were just flipping out about him.
Yeah.
And he's wonderful in that too.
Yes.
Another great actor.
And a good brother.
Yeah, really?
I presume so. I made that up. I have no idea.
We actually don't know. I mean, we hope they talk. Merry Christmas to both of you. Now, what might tip Johnny over the edge to win the Knightley? And I found this fascinating. I didn't realize that the opening song, and I actually didn't know that he's a musician as well.
Just like his brother Jerome.
Just like his brother Jerome. What a family. What a dynasty.
I know.
He writes the folk song at the beginning, which is called Queen Bee.
He wrote it.
He wrote it. Okay?
I love that.
Let me jump ahead. Isabella Waller-Bridge. Yep. Another family member. She is the composer of the score of Emma, period. She came on board and she said to him, I want you to write a song. So he wrote the song and she said, let's put it at the opener.
Oh my goodness.
So that's two.
So she's Phoebe's sister?
She's Phoebe's sister.
Oh my goodness.
Killing it, right? She did the Fleabag score. I think he's a really lovely Knightley. I think he knows exactly who Knightley is. I think he's really powerful. I love the fragility he brings to the scenes that where he tells her off. You know, badly done, Emma. He's really protective of Miss Bates. He's really disappointed in Emma. You feel it. And then it's such a gut punch for Anya Taylor-Joy. It propels her character. It's beautiful work by both of them.
Yeah, I wish there was maybe just a few more minutes in that period. I want there to just be a little more space for him to go from Badly Done, from Box Hill, to when they reconcile. I wish there was just a little more breathing space in
and
there.
I think what I like about what Autumn does as well is that when we have the dance scene where he goes and saves Harriet, which I think is also another crucial moment of every interpretation, is the Harriet saving scene of the dance. And then Emma sees him dance, but she thinks he was never going to dance.
Yeah.
And then she realizes that she would like to dance with him. And we're like, that's because you love him, babes.
Yeah.
That's because you want this guy and you don't know it. But in that dance scene between he and Anya Taylor-Joy where their hands touch, that's a real thing online too. People love that. Josh O'Connor, he's going for comedy the whole time. Love it. I think he's really like the way he uses his hands and holds them. I think he aims for the rafters for the most of it. I think he's really terrific. I really love him as an actor. He's one of my new favorites. I think he's terrific in everything. The new movie he's got coming out looks good. I just think he's great. He's gonna be huge.
But what's interesting about him as well is the fact that the novel talks about how handsome Mr. Elton is.
That's right.
And he, in another world, Mr. Elton looks like he would be, and Josh O'Connor he's handsome enough for Emma. So I think that there's like that sort of level of like, he realizes that he is in with a chance.
Well, that's why this Rat Boy cast, I think, is almost like a Rat Pack cast for Emma. I mean, she has 3 guys that would be suitors.
Yeah.
That are all the pinup guys of now.
Yeah.
You think
Callum
of Callum.
Turner's great.
I mean, when Callum Turner turns up, he is so handsome and they have such incredible banter. Like, he could also be a Knightley. So it's wonderful casting by all of them.
I'm not sure about that bit around the chairs.
Oh, where they dance around the chair. Look, I think sometimes Autumn does reach for things and sometimes it hits, sometimes it misses. The blood nose for me.
The blood nose.
That missed for me. The dance around the chairs. But I think she has so much other things going on that those little things, we're going to let go.
Did you find out why she has a nosebleed?
She's overwhelmed. It's the heat. Maybe it's a strawberry allergy. I don't know.
It's jam.
You got a little something there hung from the scones. Mia Goth took me a while to get into her Harriet, but I think overall she bounces off Anya Taylor-Joy really well. And the director and the writer. So the writer is Eleanor Cotton. She's a Booker Prize winner. She wrote The Luminaries. She's very young. She's Canadian, brought up in New Zealand. They really wanted to focus on the love story between Emma and Harriet and how that developed. So they give that a lot of time. I think she's quite good. She's not my favorite. I'd still lean towards Tony. Maybe I'm just being Aussie about that, but I think she's excellent in it.
Yeah, she seems more brittle than a lot of Harriets. I don't know. I don't know what I want my Harriet to be. I think that there's an element where I think that Toni Collette comes to it with sort of like a wide-eyed, like, of course, yes, this. Whereas Mia Goth seems more like confused and sort of, okay, yeah, yes, I should be doing that. Right,
it's like
I'll
a
do
blind
that.
trust in Emma, which...
Yeah, and sort of coming from an anxiety and like, I should say no to Mr. Martin.
Remember,
he's a handsome Martin too.
He's another handsome Martin. Great Martins.
Yeah.
Great Martins think alike. Just quickly wrapping up on this movie, Isabella Waller-Bridge also convinced Amber Anderson, who's Jane Fairfax in this film, who is also a trained pianist.
So did she really play?
So in that scene where she sits down, she plays, she had to relearn that piece. That is a rip-snorting piece of music. In fact, so much so, on the soundtrack, it has Jane Fairfax plays Mozart in F or whatever it is. It really elevates the Jane Fairfax of this movie. I think it's a fantastic choice. I would still love to see a really luminous Jane come on board and really challenge and put Emma back on her heels. But we don't quite get that. All right. Mr. Woodhouse, Bill Nighy. He's just Bill Nighy. He's the greatest.
Yeah, he's wonderful. He's just very much of that film. It was so stylish and sort of like a confused elderly mod. But I'm here for it.
That's what he does in every film. I love it. I'm here for it. All right, let's do our all-star Austens, or today I'm calling them the Knightleys.
Okay.
All right. Best Emma goes to Anya Taylor-Joy.
Agreed.
I think we can agree on that. Best Mr. Woodhouse, I'm going Gambon. He has the scope. He has the text to do it. He has all the range. It's perfect.
Of course.
I'm going to jump around a little bit here. Mr. Lipper, Doer's Mate. Callum, he wins for me.
Really?
Yep.
Over Rupert from...
Rupert's terrific. I just think Callum's a star. Rupert's excellent, though. It was very tight on the Knightleys there. He only won by a few votes.
Okay.
Josh O'Connor romps it in. He absolutely smashes it. He's a great Mr. E. I love Alan Cumming too, but I love Josh a little bit more.
No, Alan Cumming.
All right, fair. Toni Collette, are we agreed, is our favourite Harriet?
Okay.
Okay, the Australian vote wins again. It's a hands-down slam win for Sophie Thompson, obviously, as the best Miss Bates.
I do think Miranda Hart...
She's excellent.
She is excellent.
It's a different take.
And I do feel as though there's something about her height and her awkwardness that really reads as a Miss Bates to me. There's something like textbook spinster about the way that she portrays it. But Sophie Thompson breaks my heart. I could cry again. I won't.
Don't.
But yeah.
Can't have two tears in one podcast. And between the two Knightleys, as we give the Gold Knightley Award, I couldn't decide. I'm calling it a draw.
I'm sorry. I know he wrote the song, but I'm going to have to go for Jeremy Northam.
Really?
I'm sorry. He's just so good.
I would have agreed, but the song brought my vote up and I had to call a draw. At the end of the day, I just love this book more than I thought I would. And I really loved watching all the interpretations. And that was a real revelation for me. So discovering this version of the Austenverse and getting into Emma, I did not know I would have all of this in my head circling around in all these notes and I could judge what a good Knightley even was.
Do you like Emma at the end? If you go back to your original quote, which is the fact that Jane Austen was going to write a heroine that people wouldn't warm to, do you like Emma by the end of the book? Yes,
because I think she makes you warm to her. Because what happens is she realizes that in that moment at Box Hill, that she's only a stone's throw away from being Mrs. Bates. She's also going to have to look after an elderly father, like Mrs. Bates looks after Mrs. Bates. And so those comparisons come in. And Knightley drawing her attention to that rocks her world so much that you can't help after that, she realizes that, oh my God, Harriet could be with Knightley and I'll have nothing except my father. There's a real sort of all the cards falling into place in front of Emma's eyes that we've all been privy to the whole time with Jane, makes you go, oh, this poor girl, will she get there in the end? And when she does, you're like, you've learned some serious lessons. And I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think that looking back on it, I think my discomfort with Emma as a heroine is, paging Dr. Freud, my discomfort with myself.
Ah.
Because, I mean, I have been Emma to the Miss Bates in my life. Mm-hmm. And the shame that she feels for pushing that too far and thinking you're being funny and you're just being cruel. Oh, my God.
And I think that's great writing. I mean, whether you're a teenager or you're in your 20s, you still make those mistakes because you don't know the world enough.
You cut that off at your 20s and the rest.
I might have done that maybe into my 40s. So, but I think it's what makes it such a great piece of writing, such a full-rounded piece of writing.
Real. Oh my gosh, I'm a big fan.
And for me, that's why you need to have a little bit of like that in the Emma interpretations to really get what Austen's trying to do with it, and it pays off in the end because she's kind of an anti-hero for a little bit of it.
Yeah. What a corker.
What a ripper. Good on you, Jane.
Good on you, Jane. Oh, my goodness. Absolutely. Loved it. So what are we going to do next? Our suggestion would be, of course, number one, read the book because it is so good.
It's a great read.
And so clever and so beautifully done. So, of course, read the book. But also, do watch the Gwyneth Paltrow. Do watch the Anya Taylor-Joy. Watch the Romola Gary if you've got the time.
I think so. Be a completist.
But also watch Clueless because that's what we're doing next.
We are. We're going to just pivot a little bit and do one of the, I guess, influenced adaptations, and that is Clueless. We really wanted to try that out and see how that goes. So you've probably watched it. I think it's probably celebrating some sort of anniversary. We'll discuss that next. But we are going to watch Clueless. We're going to break it down and how it relates to Emma and everything that they've done and Amy heckling and setting it up. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
I don't think I've seen it since it came out.
Nor have I.
As if. It's going to be fun.
It is. It really, really is. Thank you so much.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.